We will now look at nitrogen dioxide readings within the London Borough of Bromley. The only site available is Harwood Avenue within Bromley itself. This is just past the Glades on the Kentish Way, which is the A21, and is right next to Bromley Pavilion, approaching the traffic lights that joins Whitmore Road. There's a parade of shops nearby along with ordinary houses. So we'll look at the only graph available, which is 2023 to 2025, which has made practically no difference at all apart from seasonal changes. We will now look at PM2.5 particulate matter readings for the London Borough of Bromley. We will start with Harwood Avenue, and the only graph available is from 2023 to 2025, where 2025 is higher than 2023 and 2024. Apart from seasonal changes, 2023 and 2024 are practically the same as each other. Next, we'll look at PM2.5 readings in Colesberg Road at Elmer's End, where there are local shops on the A222 main road, couple of car dealers, flats and houses all around. So we'll start with 2020 to 2022. There's practically no difference apart from the spike at the end of 2020, the year of the pandemic. Next, we'll look at 2022 to 2024. There are seasonal readings. Other than that, practically no difference at all. And finally, we'll look at 2023 to 2025, which has basically got seasonal changes. Otherwise, there's practically no difference whatsoever. We will now have a look at PM2.5 readings in Brosway at Bromley Common, where there are low-level flats, a bus stop, and Bromley Common right at the end of nearby Turpington Lane, all in the entire area, which is full of greenery. So we'll have a look at the graphs from 2019 to 2021, which 2020, during the year of the lockdowns, is actually higher than 2019 and 2021. So it shows that no traffic actually made so-called PM2.5 pollution worse. Then we have a look at 2021 to 2023, which is nothing special really. You've got odd spikes, which basically reflect seasonal changes. Otherwise, nothing like that spectacular. And we have a look at 2023 to 2025, with general seasonal changes, with the exception that 2025 is somewhat higher than 2023 and 2024, which is simply down to the weather. Next, we look at Cambridge Road at Sundridge Park. This is right by the one-way system, and the middle of it is full of greenery, including trees, and nearby there's houses, low-rise flats, Tesco Express, local pharmacy, veterinary surgery, and local retail. So we'll look at the graph starting from 2020, which is basically seasonal changes. Otherwise, nothing special at all. There's odd spikes here and there. Next, we look at 2022 to 2024. Again, pretty much seasonal changes, odd spikes, which just reflects different seasonal weather. And finally, we look at 2023 to 2025. Again, seasonal changes, which shows that ULEZ has made no difference whatsoever. Next, we look at Bromley High Street, right by Ringers Road, which consists of local retail towards a pedestrianised area of Bromley High Street, a few trees, a very, very, very large bus stop for quite a few buses, restricted parking bays. It's not too far away from Bromley South Railway Station. So we have a look at the graphs. We get 2020 to 2022, which is generally seasonal changes. Apart from that, nothing particularly special. Then we look at 2022 to 2024. What was interesting that suddenly 2024, I think towards the end of 23 as well, readings went very low, so I'm not sure why that is, whether it's a faulty sender. And finally, we look at 2023 to 2025, pretty much seasonal, again showing 24 and then 23 very low readings, and 25 also very low readings, but showing higher than 2024. But not really sure whether the sender's faulty or not, or whether it got moved. But that's what's on the graphs anyway. Either way, it shows that ULEZ has not worked. We will now have a look at the leafy area of Hayes in Ketchall Gardens, which consists of ordinary houses and a few trees and a cul-de-sac. So we'll have a look at the graphs from 2019 to 2021, which is generally seasonal spikes, but other than that, nothing particularly special. Next, we'll look at 2021 to 2023. Again, they're just seasonal spikes, it simply changes due to the weather. And finally, we look at 2023 to 2025, where the difference here is during 2024 and 2025 were both higher than 2023, which shows that ULEZ has made no difference at all. We will now have a look at Broomhill Road, right at Broomhill Common in Orpington, which basically consists of houses and a few speed bumps. So we look at the graphs from 2021 to 2023, which is nothing special really apart from the seasonal changes, hence the spikes. And finally we'll look at 2023 to 2025, which shows practically no difference whatsoever from the seasonal spikes, which shows how ineffective ULEZ really is. We will now have a look at Orchard Grove at Orpington Town Centre, right by Tesco Extra. It consists of blocks of flats and a few trees. So we look at 2021 to 2023, which is generally seasonal spikes such as pollen from various trees in the area. Other than that, nothing particularly special. And finally, we'll look at 2023 to 2025. But again, nothing particularly special apart from pollen and so on, except that 2025 is higher than 2023 and 2024, which shows that ULEZ simply does not work. We will now have a look at St Kilda Road, opposite Broxbourne Gardens in Orpington, where Broxbourne Gardens just consists of trees and some greenery, and around the area there are some houses on an unmade road. So we look at the graphs in 2019 to 2021. It's basically seasonal, so no reason most of 2021. It could be a fault, I don't really know. Then we have a look at 2021 to 2023, which shows again hardly reads in 2021, probably due to a fault, but other than that it's pretty much seasonal. And finally we have a look at 2023 to 2025, is basically seasonal, but ULEZ has made no difference at all. We'll now have a look at Pettswood Road, right by Pettswood Railway Station, consisting of local retail, car park, a few trees, National Railway line and Pettswood Station itself. So we have a look at the graphs in 2020 to 2022, where general seasonal spikes. Apart from that, nothing particularly special. Then we look at 2022 to 2024. Again, sort of seasonal spikes, but from November 22 to about February 23, I suspect there was a fault that there was no readings from that monitoring station. And finally, we look at 2023 to 2025, where I think there are faults from November 24 to January 25, and the readings that are on 25 are higher than 23 and 24, which shows that ULEZ has practically made no difference at all. The final area of PM2.5s we'll look at is Lullingstone Crescent in St Paul's Cray, right by Scadbury Park, where there's just ordinary houses and lots of trees, especially in Scadbury Park. So we have a look at the graphs in 2022 to 2024. There are generally seasonal changes, where I suspect there was a fault between April and September 2024, as there are no readings. And finally, we'll look at 2023 to 2025. You can see there was a fault in 2024, and 2025 readings are higher than both 2023 and 2024, which shows ULEZ just simply does not work at all.